Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is Christmas Day, everybody. This is the DVC Roundtable. Joining us at the DVC Roundtable for the first time ever on this exciting Christmas Day. My lovely wife, Dawn.
Hi.
Hi.
Yay. Thank you.
She's here. It's really her.
It is. In person. This is awesome.
I feel like such a celebrity. This is awesome. I should join you more often.
It's a Christmas miracle. God bless us, everyone.
We've always liked you more, Dawn.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. Also joining us, Miss Emily Hansa Hicks.
Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Oh, awesome. Also, Miss Rebecca Toon.
Merry Christmas. The tree is not the only thing getting lit today.
And there you go. And speaking of getting lit, how about Mr. Brad Coates?
Okay, now you're going to start rumors to get me in trouble. Hey, everybody, Merry Christmas. And I am so grateful that my kids are grown and I don't have to get up at 4 a.m.
That's kind of who I figured might be listening to the show this morning. People out there just getting some last minute things ready before Christmas or Christmas lunch or dinner or brunch, whatever you do. Before we start the show, kind of a new, we just did this last year, Resort Loop tradition. Mr. Brad Coates is going to give us a little Christmas prayer this Christmas Day. Take it away, Brad.
Thank you. It's an honor. Father, we thank you so much for the incredible community we call Resort Loop Live. These are more than just people that love Disney. They're to us, their friends, their family. We ask that during this holiday season, in these challenging times, that God, you will fill their homes and their hearts and their minds with beauty and peace and joy. May they celebrate this season with memories that will last forever. And we look forward to an incredible year as you launch us into it in the next month. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. For this show, we're not actually going to talk about DVC, but I want to get the roundtable together. I thought it'd be fun to talk about our favorite holiday or not holiday, just Disney vacation memory. It can be in the holidays. It can't be in the holidays. And since I'm joined by my lovely wife, Dawn, if nobody minds, I'm going to start with her.
Okay.
And we can get it rolling. Hun.
Yes.
What is our, because we actually got together before the show and we had the same memory.
We did.
So I'm going to let her tell the story.
Okay. So we thought it would be really fun to surprise our kids with a long weekend at Disney World. And so we flew down, and in order to kind of throw the kids off, Stephen was 9. He was in the 4th grade, and Mackenzie was 4, so she was in preschool. We told the kids we were going to Houston to visit a friend of mine who had just had a baby. So this whole time, we're flying down there. Neither one of the kids really thought, oh, this is Orlando. We're going to Orlando. No one. So we're in the van, and we splurged to stay at the Contemporary with a park view, with the Magic Kingdom view. And we're so excited. So I get out the video camera, and because Steven starts saying things like, hey, I think Dad's going the wrong way. I'm seeing signs for Disney World. What's going on? And so finally we said, surprise, we're not going to Houston. We're going to Disney World. And Stephen was like, yay. And Mackenzie, who was 4, says, oh man, I wanted to go to Houston, and starts crying. And she cried. We were heading toward the Contemporary. She cried and cried and cried. And she's crying, get out of Disney, get out of Disney. I want to go to Houston. And so we pull up to the Contemporary, and this sweet bellman opens the door, and he's met with the, shut that door! And the guy's looking at me, and I'm like, just shut the door. I don't know what to tell you.
Not ready.
So we
need a minute.
Anyway, so we drag her kicking and screaming through the lobby and up the elevator to our room. And I'm telling you, Disney magic, works its magic every time. We get to our room just as the fireworks are starting over the castle, and it flipped her switch, and she was like, oh, wow, we're at Disney, and yay. And I mean, she just loved the fireworks, and she just forgot all about Houston. was super, super happy. And she's like, yay. She's like, we're going to ride their rides. And I said, yes. And she goes, and we're going to have fun. I said, yes. And she's like, well, let's get this vacation started. And I said, well, it's 10 o'clock. We're going to get a bath and go to bed then tomorrow. Yeah, that was the wrong thing to say. We should have just taken her somewhere. I don't know where. We should have just gone somewhere, because that was a wonderful getting her to bed night.
It was awesome.
So that's our favorite Disney memory, just because we thought we would be so great and be great parents and surprise our kids with a trip to Disney, and we did not get the reaction we thought we would. At least from one of them.
Yes.
Poor child in Houston at some point.
No, she's never been to Houston. So
But if you'd like for full effect, I was going to play the video here real quick, at least the audio for it.
Well, we're going into the Magic Kingdom right now. I thought we were supposed to go to Houston on this vacation.
surprise, we're really going to Disney. We're not going to Houston. We're going to Disney World.
Sweet! Oh, man, I was Disney! It's Disney World, for crying out loud! Oh, I was He hasn't taught that yet.
We've been having Houston forever. That's disappointing.
So we're staying here for 4 straight days. Oh. So what hotel did you really check us into, Dad?
Just wait and see. We'll drive up to it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. See, there's a castle over there. See?
She's too tired.
Get out of Disney!
Huh?
She's saying get out of Disney.
You don't want to go to Disney World?
I want to go to Houston.
What?
Let's go down there and have some fun. Let's go down there and have some fun. Yay! And ride the rides.
Yep.
Yay!
It's 1-2.
I can't wait till we start this vacation.
There it is.
I do it now. We'll go down there and have some fun.
Yeah, no, we told her she had to go to bed. Oh, yeah, that was good after that. Good thing we'd probably stop the video there.
Oh, that's priceless.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, usually I'm the one you save to the last because you can't top it. Yeah, I can't.
No.
That's she's the best. Now you need to have her on next year to interview her.
Oh, we'll have her on.
I still love that sweet little 4-year-old voice. It just makes me smile every time I hear it.
Oh, my gosh. That's so cool.
Aw.
How old is she now?
Adorable.
20.
Yeah, so she's not near as much fun now.
Actually, she's, it is really great. Like, you go through those teenage years, and we were really lucky. We escaped pretty unscathed through those teenage years. And now she's just becoming like a really cool adult to have, great conversations with. And, I can't wait to get her she'll be home from school by now, but I'm ready. I miss her terribly when she's at school.
Isn't that funny how I read a meme the other day, and it said, spending time with your adult kids is like visiting the best parts of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I do. Our kids are fabulous. I'm so grateful.
Now that my kids are adults, I feel that so deeply.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It does. I mean, it's different. It's a different kind of fun, but Emily, you have so much to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Well, I can wait. But.
Well, I hope that you have the same luck with your teenage years that we had with ours. Our kids they were good kids, and, we kept a pretty good open dialogue with them. And, they have grown into pretty awesome adults.
Houston.
Except the Houston. Yeah. I don't know if she's ever forgiven us for that one.
We always warn our kids that they're going to be teenagers, and it's going to be like a period of time for them. And for us. And we're just like, someday you're going to be teenagers. It just happens. It happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just going to be a teenager. You're not going to make any sense. You're going to, in your head, it's not going to make sense. It's okay.
Yeah.
We all got through.
I think the best thing I ever did is I read somewhere that, if there's things they feel like they can't tell you, like face to face to get a notebook. And so that's what we did. We had a notebook for each of our kids that we hid under their pillow. And if they had something to tell us, you know, they could write it in the notebook and put it under our pillow. And then we would go back and forth. And we used it a couple times, like just things that they were curious about or things that, you know, they just wanted to know but didn't want to ask out loud, like in front of us. So that, I think, helped a lot. So, because there were some good questions they had and some good confessions that they had, because we told them they wouldn't get in trouble. Not that we wouldn't discuss it, but they wouldn't get in trouble if, you know, they came to us for help with stuff like that. So, but yeah, that really helped.
Yeah.
Genius.
So.
All right.
Genius.
I'm ready for another Christmas story or best vacation story. Emily, how about you going next?
Oh, geez. I keep flitting between them in my head. And I want to say, so my friends came down for New Year's, January 2020. And so I'm going to tell you the story of, so that was very magical to have friends down there with me. I'm going to tell you the story beforehand with the family. And it's not even really a great story, except that it was our first time going. Normally we waited till after it turns to January 1 because we're DVCers. And January 1, well, if you're on the round table or you listen a lot, you'll know that the points drop dramatically. So you can stay for, you know, probably twice as long if you stay on January 1st rather than coming on, say, December 29th. But we decided to make it a long trip, and boy, are we glad we did, because obviously that was the last trip to Disney that we have taken recently. But we went and we had our DVC annual passes, so they had blackout dates, so we couldn't go to the parks. So what we did was we just got rooms at Animal Kingdom Lodge for the pre-part of the stay, and then we moved to Riviera the first. That's a lot of logistics to say that we had nothing to do other than go to the pool and go to the community hall and visit the restaurants and things like that. So for that New Year's, we just sat at the pool pretty much the whole day. The kids played every single stinking pool game that they had. They did the cookie decorating. They did hula hooping. We have the best videos from that day of the kids just, you know, doing this bucket race at the pool. The cast members there that do the entertainment are just fantastic. And then so then we decided not to do anything too crazy. So we got, I think it was Sanaa's bread service, and we got it to go. So we went and got it, like, you know, like we all do now for everything. We took takeout home to our room. And so we ate bread service for New Year's Eve, and we got a couple of bottles of wine from the gift shop, and we were in Kidani, and it was all African wine, and it was just so much fun, so relaxed. The kids fell asleep. We let them stay up a little bit late, but they were, you know, this was 2 years ago. They were probably like 5 and 7 then, if I am doing the math right. And they fell asleep probably about 10. We were thinking they would stay up for the fireworks, or for New Year's Eve, but they didn't. And Matt and I just sat there eating bread service, watching the sky and the animals. And it was just such a magical, and I forgot before we went up and had dinner, we played at the arcade. We played all kinds of, like, you know, silly video games, and my husband loved that stuff. And I grew up in a family where that would be a giant waste of money. But Matt goes in there and drops, like, you know, $50 on games. And it was amazing. And the kids claim they have no memory of any of these things. But I can tell you, it was just the best night. And Matt and I are just sitting there drinking, you know, we were drinking African wine on the balcony. And it was such a slow, we've done things for New Year's Eve. Like, I've always done things for New Year's Eve, gone to a concert or whatever. And it was just being together and just, you know, soaking in that just presence. And we didn't even go to parks. We were just there and just doing all the family things. And I feel like that's a very anticlimactic story.
No.
Except that it was just...
That sounds perfect.
You know?
I think we can all relate to that, because I have told Tim multiple times now, I said, I just want to go and just sit on a balcony somewhere, preferably on a cruise ship, staring out at the ocean. And that's all I want to do. I don't need to do any cruise activities. I don't need to do anything else. I just want to sit and stare. I need that. I totally feel the relaxation of just being together and having some time. You know, we're caring for mostly my dad. My mom and dad are both pretty good health for the most part. My dad is very frail right now, so he's regaining some strength here and there, but it requires a lot of care. And I said, there's nothing I could do to relax other than to get away. And I have siblings that would certainly, chime in and help out and that kind of stuff. But I feel you with the whole, I need to relax and do nothing and just be with my spouse and just have that moment.
Sometimes we're so busy, we're not making memories.
Right. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's when we slow down that the things that really resonate shine. So.
And with your kids not having the memory of that, you have that memory of that. I know people sometimes struggle with, I want to wait till my child's older till they remember their trip to Disney World. And I'm like, I'll remember that. I'll remember what they loved and enjoyed. And I know that same trip, the kids really wanted to get the little tattoos. We were at Epcot and we got little tattoos, and we decided to do caricatures that year, and we had not done that. No, not caricatures. The artists from France. They're not caricatures though. They're not. Okay. No, they're more portraits. Oh, they're really very nice.
Oh, like the cameos or something?
Yes, they're just really nice, and just a lot of great memories. And I'm sure at age 4 and 9, probably they don't have a lot of memory of that trip, but we do.
Absolutely.
I have a great memory, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
We loved it. That's what I always tell people. Like, don't wait till everybody's going to remember it, because a vacation isn't about like storing up, it's not your Instagram account where you're getting, credit for everything that you log in the bank. It's like vacation is about being together. And they may not remember the specifics, but they will remember happiness. You know what I mean?
For sure. I totally agree with that. It was, and I remember that one trip I've taken with my kids, not one. So.
Yep.
Really quick. One little insert. I'm going to cheat here and go for a twofer.
Uh-oh.
My favorite like theme thing that I do or did with my kids when they were little is when they would first wake up and they'd be in pajamas. And Matt would be asleep, and maybe Lad would be asleep, and the twins would be awake or something. And I would just take them in their footy pajamas to the Magic Kingdom for the early morning extra magic hours.
Aww.
And they would be in their footy pajamas, and I would take them to see the princesses or ride a ride. And we would always get photo pass pictures. So it looked like they just woke up and there were princesses there. So that's one thing, parents out there, if you still have little kids that wear footy pajamas, sneak them out of the room early and let your spouse sleep in and get coffee and just take them. It's this little tiny indulgence that you'll never get at home. So magic.
Yeah,
sure.
Wonderful.
And listen to them. I remember like the first 3 trips we took, Bailey's favorite thing about being in Disney World were the swimming pools. And I'm like,
great.
We have gone to the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah.
We would be in the middle of Magic Kingdom, and she'd be like, this was great. Can we go back to the pool and play with my friends? But those became those really sweet memories like Dawn was talking about. Like, she doesn't remember saying that, but I remember how I thought, how much did we spend on this vacation?
Yeah.
It worked every penny. Like Dawn said, I regret not a single trip.
Great. Yeah. Well, Rebecca, why don't you go on with your favorite Disney memory or vacation memory?
So, like, I really was thinking Christmas for a while, and then, like, this other memory kept cropping up. And, sometimes when you're moved by something, you just kind of go with it. So, despite having Christmases in Disney and New Year's in Disney, the memory that I will share this year is from just a few years ago, about 5 years ago. Disney, for me, I actually am not someone who grew up at Disney. I know Joe has some amazing, incredible stories about going to Disney as a child and with his family. So I did not grow up in Disney. I actually did not go to Disney for the first time until I was an adult mother of 2. And that was my first time in Disney, and I had always wanted to go, but just never. I didn't have parents that really were into it, and we didn't have the disposable income. And so as an adult, I was the person who went to Disney. So Disney was sort of always just my thing as an adult. It's not something I shared with my family. It was just my thing. And about 5 years ago, my parents expressed an interest in going with me. And I was like, oh God, no. I don't know if you guys are on the internet, but there are some horror stories. And I was like, oh my goodness. And, you know, people who may know me know I like to have a drink here and there. Both of my parents are pastors and they do not drink. So I was like, what am I going to do at Disney for a week? So it was this very like, oh, kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, my parents raised me. I owe them this. I can make it work.
You felt like a teenager. They'd go to bed and you'd sneak out.
Exactly.
The longest week
Instead of you
life.
putting your kids to bed and sitting on the balcony drinking, I put my parents to bed and sit on the balcony. So anyway, so we plan this trip, and we plan it in January. My mother, my daughter, and I are going to run the Princess together. My mom is not a runner, by the way, neither am I, but my daughter is. And so we all decide we're just going to feed off of her energy. So we plan with the Princess. We decide to go. And in October of this year, my dad passed away. And to this day, he says that was his favorite trip that he's ever been on. And my dad has been, my dad served in the Navy. He did tours upon tours. He saw every inch of the world. And he said being there with my grandkids, who by that time were adults, but even being there with his grandkids and with us and seeing the magic that we grew up, you know, that I raised my children seeing, he said it was his favorite trip. And he said, before he passed away, my mom and he have been married for 44 years, and we were planning their 50th wedding anniversary there. So we get to do that. But favorite memory of this trip, my dad served in the Navy very proudly, and we were in Hollywood Studios one day, and we went to ride the Toy Story ride, and my dad kicked everyone's butt. Like, I'm like, oh, I see now what you did on the ship in the Navy. So he got everything. So we come off of the Toy Story ride, and it just so happens that the Green Army men are out and about doing autographs. My dad says, hold on just 1 second. And I said, okay, sure. He goes, I'm going to go over here and talk to this guy. And you have to know my dad, because you have to know that my dad never saw a person in uniform that he did not approach and tell them, thank them for their service, take their hand. And so my dad waits in line, which I've never seen him do, without complaining for 10 minutes. He gets up to the Army guy. He salutes him and says, thank you for your service.
That's the best. I bet the Army guy's telling that story somewhere too.
Yeah. He's on another podcast today going, there was this one time.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
And my dad had his Vietnam service hat on, and the Green Army man did not break character, but his voice cracked, and he saluted my dad, and he said, thank you, sir, for your service.
Oh, how sweet.
Wow.
My dad was engulfed in the magic for that. He found a joy for something, and I am so grateful that I was able to share that with him, even as much as I complained and, said, oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst trip ever. I have, especially now, with him gone, I have such sweet memories, and I have such a sweet gratitude for being able to be there with him. And so for those of you listening today, Merry Christmas. Take the trips now.
Absolutely.
Make the memories now.
Absolutely.
There will always be another day to work, but make those memories with the people you love now, because you never know. And are incredible memories.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Incredible.
I love that.
Incredible. Wow, Rebecca, thank you.
Rebecca, next time I'll teach you the water bottle trick, okay? So when we took my parents, which I should have said was one of my favorite memories, which it was a great memory, I made everybody individual water bottles that were labeled with their names, and they were souvenirs, and they had the year on them and everything. And then my husband and I got our delivery from We Go Shop, which we, not recommending them at this moment, but they would purchase alcohol for you. So we had alcohol in our part of the room. And then
Love it.
about like 3/4 through the trip, because my parents are teetotalers. 3/4 through the trip, my mom said, because one of my kids went to go grab my water bottle and drink out of it, and I said, no, that's mommy's drink. And then she said, my mom was like, wait, what's in your water bottle? I was like, my drink.
My drink. I will not be answering any follow-up questions.
Exactly.
My adult water. I got to admit, Emily, I really saw that going a different direction. She said, let me tell you the water bottle trick. My parents we bought them all water bottles. I slipped them Mickeys. They went to sleep, and we went out and had fun. They didn't know.
It's okay if they remember the trip.
I don't care. The way you handle it's way better than I was thinking of handling.
That's awesome. We've taken my parents a couple times with us, and we've gone with Tim's parents a couple times. And, you know, it is so nice to watch them with the grandkids. And the last time we went with my parents was in 2017 at Christmas time. My daughter's marching band marched down Main Street, and that was really special because my mom had a couple grandkids in the band then.
Yeah.
Couple grandkids in the band. And so my parents were with us, and my sister decided to join us as well. And so it was just really, really nice to have them there to be able to experience that. And we all stayed together in a 2-bedroom villa at Old Key West. Mm-hmm. And so that was really nice to have us all together. And, you know, I don't think you just don't regret any of those special memories. And I'm, you know, grateful that we had those memories and that the kids have the memories of their grandparents being there. And, you know, it was special.
Yep, it was.
I liked it.
All right, Brad, do you have a vacation memory you'd like to share?
Yeah, I do. And actually, Emily flipped the script for me. I'd already shared with you, Tim, that I was going to talk about my wife's medical crisis trip on our last one. But we really shared that on that podcast we did together, right?
We did.
Yeah. So go back and find that that's because you have a reason to watch more Resort Loop if you missed that one.
Yes, it was a good story.
It's an incredible story. It's phenomenal. It's intense. And then in the end, it's magic. Mm-hmm. But and when Emily said it, I don't know how I missed it. Because when we talked about this, we said it could be a holiday memory. It didn't have to be one. And suddenly my brain just clicked in on the first time my family ever experienced Disney for the holidays. And most of you already know my story. My oldest is 22. Her first trip to Disneyland, she was 4 months old. It ruined us. They've done something Disney at least once, sometimes up to 4 times every year of their lives. We are a Disney family. Mm-hmm. And so there's so many memories, but here's the problem. It's a great thing and my kids love it and they've been spoiled. And I think part of the reason my kids turned out good was because we overloaded them with Disney and helped them to keep out of trouble. I'm just going to blame them. Especially with all the money I've invested instead of counselors and psychologists. So. But that's where all my money went. But the hard part was when you do it for your kid every year and they know you're going to do it every year and it's what we do as a tradition, there is no surprising the kids, Emily.
No.
you can't surprise them because they already know.
One time.
Yeah.
One time.
So I decided one year, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to surprise these kids if it kills me. So I need you to play along. So we started early. We started about October. I started letting the kids know, I just want to give you a heads up. Actually, it'd be more like September. Said, we didn't get to do it in the summer. We didn't do it in the spring break, and it's just not looking good. And I apologize, guys. It's just not in the cards this year for Disney. And they were so good about it. They're like, Dad, we understand. It's okay. And I said, but to help make up for it, for Thanksgiving, we're going to Grandma's house in Phoenix. We live in New Mexico. We drive to Phoenix. And I said, when we're there, then we're going to take day trips to the Grand Canyon, and they've got a special Christmas thing at the zoo in Phoenix. And we're going to do some day events. It's just not Disney, but we're going to have a fun time and everything. So they were under impression. Now, my wife knew that I was not planning. I was planning a trip to Disneyland. But what I do is every once in a while the kids would walk in the room and they'd almost catch me doing it. So I started literally setting up fake pages So when they'd walk in the room, I'd click on it real quick and I'd call them over and go, hey, take a look. Here's the mule train that goes down inside the Grand Canyon. You guys want to do that? Oh, yeah, Dad, that'll be fun. Oh, here's the zoo. And then when they'd walk out of the room, I'd click back over and I'd start, because I'm the Uber planner. And so my wife knew we were going, but she didn't know everything that I was planning. So here's what happened. We pack up everything to go to Phoenix. We told them we were putting some Christmas presents in the car at Thanksgiving because Grandma and Grandpa wanted them to open these while they were there. Now, Grandma and Grandpa knew what was going on. I talked with them. So I got there. We sat down the first evening. We had a great time with Grandma and Grandpa. And I sat them down on the floor, and I put in front of my wife and both of my daughters their gift. And the boxes were the same, basically. I said, okay, we're going to open it all together. Everybody ready? Special gift from Grandma and Grandpa. They just wanted to see you open this gift, so everybody's going to open it 1, 2, 3. They open it up. And right on top, there's a card that says, remember when I said we weren't going to Disney? I lied. And but then that's when my wife was like, okay, I knew that was coming, but what's all the rest of this? Inside the box, there was a separate package. One would say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Each day that we would be there, there was a gift that each of them were to open. They didn't know what was in the gift, including my wife. Nobody knew. But every day, and my plan was we did something on that because all the trips we've done, this was fun. Tim, here you go. Here's for the planner guy. I did something brand new that my family had never done for every single day at Disney. And
That's
some of us,
cool.
like we did the Sunday school brunch. The Sunday brunch, gospel, the house.
Oh, I'm dying to do
we
that.
did that one day. One day they opened up the present, and the present had, and every one of them had a card in it that was like a puzzle. Now, they didn't always know until they read it. Like it said, well, we're going to church today. And then we walked to downtown Disney, and then we went in. One day they opened the box, and it had a feather boa for each of them and sunglasses. And I said, paparazzi are running hot. You need to get ready. And I said, you got to put it on. They put it on. We were staying at the Disneyland Hotel. So we came down, we went out of the lobby into the front, and there was a black town car with a guy with a hat and all done up waiting.
Ooh.
Well, he drove us to Universal Studios Hollywood for the day.
Aww.
They'd never been to Universal Studios. So it's stuff like that. Every day they opened up something brand new, and something we experienced 7 days of brand new, never experienced stuff. And then to make that even better, it was the first time we'd ever experienced snow on Main Street, all the trimmings, all the decorations. We'd never done holidays for Disney, and it ruined us. As far as I'm concerned, I could go and skip all the rest of the year, just go to Christmas, because it's just so amazing. And so, I don't know how I forgot about that one, Tim, but that was literally the only time I've ever been able to surprise my kids with a trip. And there are so many memories tied to that because it was the first time event for every single day. They did something they'd never done before. And they often go back and talk about those little steps and things that we did, going, Dad, well, that was so cool when we did that. And
That's really cool.
yeah.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
And then it wore me out, so I'm never doing it again. We're going.
Well, you've totally inspired me. So,
And next year, I think it's about time that we go and they pay.
Yeah, the kids should surprise you now.
I'm just saying.
That's also the best part for children being adults.
You're both going to be college graduates and with full-time jobs. It's time.
I could see Mackenzie wanting to do that some year.
Oh, yeah.
Taking us.
Oh, yeah.
I can see my daughter doing that too. My son.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Steven might. I'm not sure. He's so wrapped up in baseball. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how this.
my kids have asked Santa for presents for Matt and I this year.
Aw.
They're like sneaking them in. Romy's like, can I get 2 copies of Jedi Fallen Order for the Nintendo Switch? And also, can I get a purple Steelers rug?
Aw. Purple. Okay.
And she's like, don't tell, but it's for Dad. It's not for me. But Santa, that way Santa can get it and I'll give it to Dad. I'm like,
Oh, that is so
That's sweet.
he's like, they're stinking angels. Yep. They've been locked in the house with us too long. They're very codependent, apparently.
All right, I have one more.
Uh-oh.
My lovely wife Dawn has another
This is
one.
my first time.
Everybody's
Can I
got
tell
another
two
one. Don't
stories?
start it over again.
I know, right?
My wife doesn't know the rule, one story per person, but we have to break the rules because she is my lovely wife Dawn.
That's
She's our
right.
special
That's true.
guest,
See, he knows
so
what's
she
good
can
for me.
break
Breaks the rules for me.
Story.
That's right.
But yes, John.
Yes, please.
Go.
Well, I mean, we had great memories, but I do have a Christmas memory.
Okay.
And it was 2018 then when our daughter's choir went to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very lucky. Her choir teacher is a huge Disney fan.
Yeah, she is.
So it worked out really well. Anyways, her choir got to sing in the candlelight processional. So that is my favorite holiday memory for sure, is watching her perform. And it was, I mean, the candlelight processional is amazing in and of itself, but then to have your child standing up there with everybody, and Gary Sinise was the narrator that night. It was just beyond amazing. So, and actually he and I went alone. My parents and my sister couldn't make it that year. So you and I went, just the two of us, and we had a really nice dinner at France.
We did.
In France. It was so sweet. And then, so we were able to get in, and we had just the absolute perfect seats, and it was just absolutely amazing. I loved it. So that's my favorite holiday memory, is watching her perform in the candlelight processional.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Love Gary Sinise before, love him more now.
Oh, for sure. I love him. He did an amazing job.
All right, well, guys, we need to wrap this up. Everybody, Emily, if somebody wants to find you, like a present, let's put a bow on this bad boy.
That's right. And now you guys can unwrap it because
get it in the mail, or it may not make it.
That's right. Emily, where can somebody find you?
Right. You can find me under the mistletoe. Just kidding. That's creepy, probably.
That's funny.
Find me packing my bags because we are going to stay in a bungalow at the Polynesian for one night for our first trip in 2 years. So that's otherwise Loop Your Nation Live. So yep, thanks.
Fantastic, Rebecca.
So you can find me on Twitter at Tequila Becca. You can find me on Loop Relation Live. And probably today you can find me laying under the Christmas tree, reminding my family of what a gift I am.
Hey-o. Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
Oh, and Mr. Bradcoats.
Well, you can find me at papamous101@hotmail.com if you have any questions or want to ask about the trip planning or anything like that. Yeah. And you can find me at PapaMouse1 on Twitter if I actually show up and read my Twitter. and then hanging out, of course, at Resort Loop Live on Facebook and elsewhere. And in January, end of January, you can find me hanging out at Disney World. Come on down. Let's hang out.
Oh,
awesome.
They can't beat that invitation. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. Also, if you're thinking of going down, don't forget about what's my thing called? ResortLoopTravel.com. It's been a long show.
That's the way to travel.
Everybody, this has been the Gateway to the Magic. Take us out.
See you, everybody.
See you, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Awesome.